it is raining out today, so I thought it was the perfect time to finish doing my seeds indoors. I have some carnations I want to start. I've read that they don't always produce in their first year, so I'm kind of like crossing my fingers and really hoping they will. I'm also starting spinach, loofah, because these take forever. So I need to start them inside and transplant them outside so they can have like a full 90 to 120 days to produce my loofahs. I'm doing cabbages, and I'm also going to go ahead and start some kale inside. I do have seeds that I already started. These are all different tomato varieties, and then these are broccoli and Brussels sprouts. And as you can see, they are all starting to get a little leggy, which is okay. They will do that. What I like to do is just take a toothpick and then go in next to the seedling and just gently start tucking it lower into the soil. And you can also hill up the soil around it so that it isn't so leggy, but you also have to think if they aren't getting enough sunlight inside, or if you don't have a grow light, they're going to reach towards whatever sunlight they can find. I've had this guy up in a sunny window, and you can see how all of the seedlings are facing this way because they're reaching for the light. So I can tuck them in, I can transplant them, bury them further down, but if they're not getting enough light, they're just gonna keep getting leggy. I'm probably just gonna go ahead and add a grow light. It's just a 1 bulb grow light, but it will help these guys get the light that they need, and they won't keep getting so leggy. Because if they do just get really leggy, they're gonna fall over and then it's ruined. And we don't want that, because that's just a total waste, and then you have to start more seeds. Does anybody else like to come in and like, you know how the seed will hold, let me see if I can find one. We'll hold the little leaves together. Sometimes I just go in and I pull the little seed off so that the leaves can separate. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I just like to gently pull it off. But that's what I have started. I also have, you can see hopefully back here, my screen dimmed out. I have a bunch of onions. I think I have more onions up here. So I'm really excited about that. Although I will say, if I find onion sets in a store already going, I'll go ahead and buy them and plant them outside, like today. Okay, so in this little pot right here, I have left just about an inch of space from the top. I'm just gonna put in some of my cabbage seeds, and then I'm gonna fill it all the way to the top with soil. But if you plant it a little deeper, you're just gonna get really good roots, because the seed has to work harder. Got my bag of soil down here. The seeds have to work harder to break the surface. We have some beefsteak tomatoes also that we did, and we did those like an inch and a half down. And they are all, that was probably like a week and a half ago, and they are all now sprouting, which is really exciting. But they were buried pretty deep, but we're expecting them to have some really good roots and to be a really strong plant for transplanting. Now I'm gonna do the same here with my loofah seeds. I'm putting quite a few in each just in case they don't germinate. So I am just going to add extras, add more than I think I will need, just in case some of them don't sprout. This one needs a little bit more soil here. I am about 6 to 8 weeks from my last frost, so I am planting everything that will go out as soon as the weather warms up. About, ooh, that was quite a lot of spinach seeds. That's all right. There we go. I'm one of those gardeners that's just like, just do it, just try it. But about 3 to 4 weeks before the frost, then I'm going to do more of my flowers. I'm going to do calendula, I'm going to do nasturtiums, and they'll typically tell you on the back of the seed packet, yeah, 3 to 4 weeks before last frost. So keep track of that on your seed packets, and it'll let you know when to start them inside, so they'll be ready to transplant outside at the right time. Put more soil on top. This is why I use these. because I make a mess and then it just catches the soil and I can add it into another pot. All right, I'm gonna water that and then those will be ready. I went ahead and did my dino kale and labeled that. I got everything watered. I did my carnations, I did my pink on this side and my white on this side. We'll see if that little divider actually works. I'm not really sure, but I will just put the top on it. And those take a while to germinate, so I'll just keep an eye on it. And I missed everything almost every time I walk past my seeds. I check them, I make sure they're not drying out. You just don't want them to dry out. Make sure that they stay moist. So whenever you can, if you bottom water, that's great too. If you don't, just make sure that they don't dry out. You can put your finger in the soil and see if it's dry, like half an inch down. Just make sure that your seeds or your seedlings stay moist. You just don't want them to dry out because then it's just gonna kill the seed and you don't want that. To help them grow really strong, you can put them in a high traffic area where people walk past a lot so it creates a breeze. Or you can blow at them every time you walk past, or you can put a fan on them blowing like past them, because that's gonna help them get really good and strong. Like you don't want weak seeds that as soon as you either transplant them or move them somewhere else, they are just gonna fall over and then the whole stem here can break, and you don't want that. So whatever we can do to create a good strong plant before we start hardening them off to be planted outside is what we want.